attention like ladies and gents when I mention my name at the door. And I hope you'll pardon me, see by my card I am finding a world we may explore. You're in the dream I have drawn. You're like the wings for my song. I get a lift with your gift to know right from the wrong. Really strong. Our imagination will find this occasion to go where we know we belong.
It was Harold's bedtime. But Harold couldn't sleep. He felt lonely sometimes, lying in his bed at night. Harold thought it might cheer him up to play with his dog, Lilac. Harold loved Lilac, but a stuffed animal wasn't quite the same as a real dog. Harold thought maybe if he had a real dog, he wouldn't feel quite so lonely. Lilac had come to life. And she was already quite hungry. Lilac was thirsty too after performing so many tricks.
Takes to a log. Why we go right together. You're a dog, but what a dog. And you don't need no money. No, you don't need to phone. You want a bone. You're such a dog. I got one right here. So roll over, dear. You catch and I scratch where you itch. We're even, how odd. In a pod, the finest canine company. I know you would agree. Pick the proper company. Stop it to please hold the flea. Picture me a boy out with a dog.
Harold and Lilac had discovered the secret entrance to a hidden cave. They had awakened a sleeping bear. And the bear wasn't too happy about that. Harold hoped a pot of honey would put the bear in a better mood. Harold never could have faced the bear without Lilac by his side. He decided that a dog as brave and fun to play with as Lilac deserved a doghouse. But not just any doghouse. It was a palace built for two. With two of everything. Was beginning to discover that Lilac wasn't the neatest roommate. And she didn't always listen either.
Lilac, I'd like my hat back. That calico cat you sat on. Watch that face from Grandma Mo we can't replace. It's a matter of taste. Better face it, my companion. It's a case of understanding right from wrong. Now run along. Oh, the grandfather clock says it's time we should stop. I'll get a pail and I'll mop till I drop. While you're having fun, I'm a man on the run. And if you find my other shoe, I'll forgive you through and through. Picture man, a castled king, home at last, a passing thing, dreaming like a boy out with a dog.
Lilac had ruined Harold's sweater. And her wagging tail was starting to erase the beautiful house Harold had drawn for them. Harold tried to stop her.
Bad dog, Lilac.
At first, Harold was relieved that Lilac had gone. Now he wouldn't have to put up with her mischief anymore. And Harold was sure Lilac would be back before too long. Any minute now, Lilac would come running back, and Harold was sure she'd be very sorry for all the trouble she'd caused. Harold waited, and waited, and waited. After a while, Harold began to feel lonely again. Very lonely. So he decided to find another friend to play with. It wasn't easy trying to play fetch with a fish. What Harold really wanted was a dog. A nice, quiet dog who wouldn't chew everything and track muddy footprints all over the house. But this dog was a little too quiet. So Harold drew a peppy dog. The peppy dog wanted to play fetch, but not with Harold. Harold realized that he didn't want to play with just any dog. He wanted Lilac. Harold began to wonder where she'd gone and why she still hadn't come back. Maybe Lilac was never coming back. Harold couldn't bear the thought of never seeing her again.
Lilac! Lilac!
The world felt so much bigger and emptier without her.
Lilac!
That same old song at twilight, when evening turns to night and you're not there. Why should I care? The moon is super crescent, the stars illuminate this Milky Way. What's there to say? My astronomy is not much, you see. There's a doggone bright star out tonight. You will know by the bark that falls on the dark, the call of my lilac. Can you bring her back? Hitch your wagon to a star, let it take me where you are. Picture me a boy without a dog.
There she was! There was only one place Harold hadn't looked. Harold was afraid to disturb the bear again, but he had to know whether the bear had seen Lilac. Maybe he'd asked the wrong question, Harold thought. The bear had been so helpful, the least Harold could do was thank him. There she was! Harold wasn't ever going to let Lilac run away from him again. Lilac was stuck at the bottom of the cliff. Harold was desperate to help Lilac, but what could he do without his purple crayon? Harold was relieved to find Lilac safe, but now they were both stuck at the bottom. Even with his purple crayon, Harold wasn't sure how to get back to the top of the steep, jagged cliff. Harold and Lilac were out of the pit, and they'd done it together. But there was still one thing Harold knew he had to do.
I'm sorry.
Harold felt badly that he'd hurt Lilac's feelings by yelling at her, and he promised he'd never do it again. Harold wished he could go on playing with Lilac forever, but he was getting so sleepy. It really was time to go home. Lilac was sad that Harold had to leave. She couldn't be sure she'd ever see him again. Harold would never leave Lilac behind. As Harold drifted off to sleep, he thought about how wonderful it was to have a friend like Lilac. They didn't always agree, but he knew he and Lilac would always be there for each other. And as long as they were together, he'd never feel lonely again. The purple crayon dropped on the floor, and Harold dropped off to sleep.